man, there's so many great ones. Whether it's Woody Williams, one of the last two surviving Medal of Honor recipients from World War II. Look, this guy's had battleships named after him. I mean, he's like Woody Williams is a stud. He's an incredible. Sam Lombardo, who was from Italy, who survived under Mussolini's rule until he was 12 years old, was able to escape on a visa to America and then became a citizen, and then fought as a lieutenant against the same forces that he grew up under. That was an incredible project. He was an honorary Super Bowl captain last year. That man's incredible. He's 101 years old and he looks like he's like 70. You want to talk about guys that are still in good shape. Blake and I were following him around his Fort Walton Beach retirement home, and he was like literally laughing at us. He was like, "Keep up, gentlemen, keep up." And I mean, so some of these guys just blow me away. Woody Williams is incredible. Sam Lombardo, Alfred Hawes, Bataan Death March veteran, but probably my most recent story on Major Jim Capers, who, if you see the motivational posters from the 70s and 80s, ask a Marine. There's a black officer staring into the camera, and that is Jim Capers. Jim Capers was the Marine Corps' recruiting campaign in the 70s and 80s. He was really the most, at least on the officer side. They went out to one of those high-powered New York ad agencies, spent millions of dollars on this ad campaign, and so Jim Capers is an incredible story because of what he dealt with before joining the Marine Corps. All of the horrific racism that he dealt with. His parents were sharecroppers. He was tackled and beat up in alleys. Twice guys attempted to lynch him, just treated horrifically. And this guy joins the Marine Corps because he sees that as the way out. And then he's now been denied for the Medal of Honor 3 or 4 times after his last mission, and which he was wounded 19 times. He stayed on the LZ 3 times while his guys went back up. Some accounts say that he killed 95 in VA, and he was shot 10 times, I believe. I mean, he almost died from his wounds. This is a guy who stayed on, whose Medal of Honor commendation, or his, push for that, anyways. If you saw what he did on that day, you go, this is one of the craziest things I've ever read in my life. Almost like Roy Benavidez style, which, he knew Roy. This is a guy who was giving Charles Beckwith a lesson on how to start special operations unit when he was coming over to his house on Sunday night and asking him how to start up what now is Delta Force or CAG. Charles Beckwith was coming over to his house to get his perspective on how special operations unit should be started. Jim Capers is the grandfather of Marine Corps special operations, and just an incredible man. First Marine Corps special operations Marine to be inducted into the Special Operations Hall of Fame down in Tampa. So that was an incredible story. And then getting back and having guys not salute him because they didn't believe that an officer could be black. Like that was not even in their frame of mind. Being denied entry into the officers club to where white officers had to lead him into the officers club to get him in. And this happened after Vietnam, over a 15, 20-year period where he constantly got spit on and mistreated. And he just kept serving until he reached the rank of major. He was eventually going to get offered his own regiment, but he had a special needs son who had Down syndrome and was blind, his only son. And he felt that he needed to go home and be with his son. And it was about 5 years after that his son died in his arms. And then his wife, a couple years later, died of cancer. So that man has experienced pain and heartbreak on a catastrophic level that nobody nowadays can really understand. I mean, in this American culture, at least,